He comes to us from Longboat Key, where he worked for the town, and I had what was supposed to be 15 minutes, we had a nice hour-long meeting about all kinds of things, and he's quite skilled, and I'm very excited that he's working with us. So he will be who you can call here, and I told him we were a friendly bunch for the most part, except when really strange things happen. But I think he's well equipped to cope with that, and has a lot of years of good experience. So we just welcome him, and we will have a way for you to reach him. You do have to call through the code enforcement office as opposed directly to the number. But if you have something that's persistent, please let us know, and we will also petition for some help as well. So please do that.
Hi.
Did Russ want to say something? Russ, where are you?
I'll give you my phone number in case you want to dial me direct. I'm Rick Russ. I'm the officer taking over Zone 5, which is your favorite spot. And I have a cell phone, and it rings probably any hour of the day, but you can call me, and if I don't answer, feel free to leave a message, and I will call you back as soon as possible. And my phone number is 941-264-4988.
Could you repeat that?
941-264-4988.
And I still have your card. I've not lost it so far.
Okay.
Thought I should have a few more because I couldn't find my original one. He's got a great sense of humor too. I think you need it in this work. So we're glad to have you. Thank you.
Put me on speed dial.
Okay.
Catherine,
Thank you, Russ.
Catherine, can we say thank you to Susan?
Yes. Oh,
Right there.
yes. We would have had some treats for you, Susan, if you were here, but you come anytime. We would miss you.
What did you say? You'll have drinks for me next time I show up?
Cheers.
You're so sweet.
Amen.
Tell us where you're going.
I'm going because I live in Northport and Venice is a lot closer.
Oh.
That's the only reason, honestly.
And I got news for you. I'll be needing help, so I'll be making sure she's around.
Great, great.
Rick, you have big shoes to fill. She's much loved.
Thank you.
Yes, and I
I'm
know
looking
she'll
forward
be-
to working with you guys.
She'll be a great partner to help you through all the important history that you'll need to learn about. It will help you. I'm glad you guys could appear today. We hope to have a live event where we have some fun and some other festivities here where everybody's remembering that we can also meet life tonight, and we can even have the doors and windows open. So maybe you can come live to a fun event.
So are we taking questions?
Anybody have a question or concern about something that code enforcement would want to address for us?
Yes, this is Barbara Colangelo. I have a question.
Right.
May I speak?
Go ahead, Barbara.
Hi. On the last meeting, I brought up about the house hotels that one in particular that I have right across from me, like a few steps away. And there was something that you were going to check on, like a report on whether this particular address was one. I think you said it was on your list that you had, the 316 Beach Road.
Yes, that is on. Yeah.
And I was wondering if we got that report or not, to see if my calls were on there, because we're still having a major problem with this house. You know, we're used to having just like regular same neighbors, you know, people we know. And now we have this house where every week or every few days we have somebody new in there. You know, we had an issue where they were actually taunting us when we were trying to calm them down. And so I was just wondering if we were able to get that report or not. And if there's anything else we could do. Any suggestions?
Who is this directed to, me or someone else?
You.
Because I'm not familiar with the 316 Beach Road, but I do know, I'm very familiar with speaking to you about the more than 4 cars parked at the residential multifamily homes.
Uh-huh, yeah.
But 316 doesn't ring a bell for some reason, but I'm sure it's probably multifamily, isn't it?
It's actually a vacation rental. It used to be a single family house, you know, and it was torn down. It was built, it holds like 20 something people at a time. Their pool is right opposite our house. It's in the back of the house and their parking is in the front. So we haven't had any problem with parking, but we have incredible problem constantly with noise. And
Well-
it's just a
noise-
nightmare.
Well, of course, you would have to reach out to the sheriff's office with the noise complaint.
Yeah.
But we can enforce, even if it's multifamily, how many vehicles are parked out front, because they still have to abide by no more than 4 on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Do they have, what do they do? Have a parking underneath the building?
It's just a big driveway in the front. But like I said, it's we have reached out to the sheriffs multiple times. That's what I was speaking about while we've filed a complaint, you know, called to calm them down. One time it was like 3 a.m. and they were screaming and yelling and, you know, loud music all night long. And it's just going on constantly, you know.
Okay. I'll probably swing by there tomorrow and take a look, but we'll also look on the property appraiser and see how they're zoned.
Yeah, they're supposedly, we call the property management company because they said, oh, you know, if you have any problems, they have some sort of decibel meters that are supposed to measure that, but the decibels obviously aren't working if we have our doors and windows closed and we can still hear it in the house. I mean, it's that bad. And plus it's just, like I said, it's a different group of people every week. And so our quiet neighborhood has been just completely changed. I mean, the peace and quiet, this is like our retirement home and, you know, our little piece of heaven. And now all of a sudden it's like there's constant trail of people and noise and it's just a nightmare, it really is. So we're just looking for some help, you know, how we can, if there's any, I know there's the sheriffs, but is there anything else that we can do?
I see we have a question.
Yes, I walked by that this past week. It's the big pink one, and one of the fellows said there are 8 bedrooms in that place.
There is.
Uses the number 20. She's pretty close to right.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have another person, Maribel.
Yeah,
Maribel.
Maribel, sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Maribel.
I had an enforcement question about, you know, those ditches that are behind our houses between the streets that are, I guess, an easement for the county and for water to flow. I have a neighbor behind me that constantly dumps stuff. So for example, one year they changed their fence and they dumped their old fence materials into my yard. I got a fence. Now they're just dumping it into that easement area. And they changed their irrigation system and they just threw all the tubing back there. They've also put their water draining system. They put all these tubes that go almost into the middle of that area. And I know as a homeowners, we're supposed to clear. We have a sewer and there's a tube that goes out there and there's a bunch of junk and we're supposed to clean that. So I go back there periodically to do my duty and clean. But now it's an obstacle course with their dumping. And also with all the tubes that they have going into the middle of the road, that's a tripping hazard, not just for neighbors, but also for the county people that are doing work. So I wanted to know about that, what enforcement can be done.
I don't know if Susan is still on. Susan, are you still there, and Russ? I think they may have some.
No, Susan's
No,
on.
they're here.
Is she still there?
Would that be a code enforcement issue?
I think there might be codes. I mean, certainly illegal dumping would be a code, isn't it? If they're throwing their old tubing for irrigation and other stuff and just throwing it back there instead of doing. And also, I'm not sure that you're supposed to put your tubing for your getting water out of your property into the middle of that area where people can trip and you have pipes sticking out.
Russ?
I'm gonna make a suggestion if no one else wants to speak at the moment. One of the questions it comes to mind right away because we're working so diligently on keeping the coastal water areas clear of debris and contamination One of the places to call, and you can do this by, I don't know if you use See-Click Fix, but if you describe the problem and you
Right.
report it on the See-Click Fix, even with the picture, you can ask if it can be referred to the environmental people about this, because it does sound like there's an environmental issue violation with garbage basically in the free flow area of the water drainage. And we are working on sewer issues quite heavily right now.
Yeah,
It's hard.
Yeah, it's not just the garbage too, though. It's that they've put these tubes for their irrigation in the middle that's dangerous too, and
Susan's back.
Yeah, I have to
Susan,
ask her.
some thoughts?
You have to unmute Susan. Susan and Rick. Oh, they popped off again.
There she does.
There she is. Susan, did you hear that, what Maribel was saying?
It keeps kicking us out for some reason, and I did. That would be illegal dumping for the sheriff's office if they're dumping over their fence onto the easement.
right. But what about the tubes that they're doing for their irrigation that are in the middle of that tunnel? You know, and they're just it's a tripping hazard. I almost tripped when I was trying to go to clean out the area that I'm supposed to clean out, and also for county workers that are back there that do stuff periodically.
That would probably sounds like something for our land development team. So what I would do is, no, I'm not supposed to take your information.
Yeah,
Call the
sure.
Call center to start a complaint. I would just call 861-5000 and file a complaint, and they'll distribute it to the right department,
Okay.
which I believe would probably be land development, maybe.
Okay. Thank you.
So Susan, just to kind of summarize, you're suggesting they use the See-Click Fix and then submit it?
Susan didn't suggest that.
No, that was-
We were told not to use ClickFix because they were not.
It's not anonymous anymore, from what I understand.
Well, it also,
Yeah, somebody needs to check on that, because I read that
well, it's
somewhere.
not run by the county. It's an
Yeah,
actual
but it's-
separate contract.
They said it's not anonymous anymore, you can't. Yeah, who wants to put their name on something?
Me. I do
You
it.
know, with the retaliation, I don't know.
Well, I live
It
across
does
the
sound
street.
serious enough to
No, I
go
think-
to more than one of the county departments. I feel it crosses several lines.
Yeah, I'd like to find out about that. If I heard one.
So Susan, is there a way for them to leave a message at your office, or Russ in particular, now that you're here? No.
So you want to file a complaint? Or you want to file a complaint?
Yeah. I mean, I could do the See-Click Fix. Sometimes they just have weird categories that particular things don't fall into them. That's the only thing, but I'll try doing that. I mean, I've also filed things directly with the county online, so I'll try to do it. I just thought you could point me in what they're violating.
That might be our last call from the.
Maribel, this is Joy. I'll give you a call and maybe we can work something out as far as
Okay, great.
action.
All right, great. Anybody else, questions from out here? Okay,
Do you hear
let's,
us?
Yes. Yes.
yes, we can hear.
Okay, if you can hear us before we get disconnected again, feel free to call either of our cell phones,
Who is
but
speaking?
to
This
file-
is Susan. Look on the screen. Susan's green. She's speaking. Yeah, go ahead, Susan.
any complaints would have to go through our call center at 861-5000.
Right.
The call center will distribute the complaint to the right department to work.
Okay.
Okay.
Even for follow-up, they'll do that and document it.
What was that, Russ? Or Rick?
And I think Rick had Rick
They
Russ, who
dropped.
has two perfect good names. We'll call you all good things.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, they just dropped. Their connection wasn't strong, I
Okay, there's
guess.
something going on with the connection. I'm sorry, you
Yeah.
guys. We have.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It keeps telling us we don't have good internet connection.
Okay.